from Indianapolis, Indiana. Welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show, presented by Scott K. Nichols and State Farm Insurance. And now, here's your hosts, Brandon Reef and Jonathan Birdsong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Crossroads Sports Radio, episode number 264. I am your host, Brandon Reef, joined as always by my main man and co-host, Jonathan Birdsong. JB, how are you?
Hey, man, I'm doing better than Pac-4.
Come on now.
Hey, man, you got to come in with the Vegas when you can, man. No, man, it's good to be back, man. Tuesday night, you know what I'm saying? Quick turnaround for us. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily a full weekend, man, but like, man. Brandon, I know you've been giving a rundown, but I know it's football heavy tonight. Gotta be.
Yeah, it's football, NFL, and college football heavy with a couple quick hitters of SummerSlam to recap from this past weekend and one little NBA tidbit news. But heavy college football, NFL, pro football. Give us an hour today. Give us an hour, 15 minutes tonight. Some talk in and all that and more. So
My goodness.
John, I want to start. Let's start with the NFL because I feel like the majority of our show, second half of our show.
You sure?
Yep.
Man, I'm gonna lose my mind on this college football. You already know.
Second half of the show will be college football driven. Indianapolis Colts, John, training camp. Boots were on the ground today out there at Grand Park to watch their practice. I will say I never understood the fact of some diehard Colts fans that are living on the edge of their seats, cheering every single play, every single ball that's thrown by even a third-string quarterback or a block. And people just sitting there watching that. I'm watching everything else is why I am there. And, John, I will say today, Anthony Richardson did not impress me, what I saw in person today. From what he said he did over the weekend to what he did now, it looked like a step backwards. To me, Gardner Minshew played a hell of a lot better today. I saw Minshew throw 5 bombs, spot on, 40-yard bombs to out to Pittman and to a couple other wide receivers. To me, Minshew looked better to me. I will say Darius Leonard, watching him go through drills and such, oh boy. I don't see him having a big season, John. I know it's early, it's training camp, but he showed me. To me, he looked old, and now he'll probably retweet this when you pull it. He looked old and slow.
Did you go Dylan Brooks already?
I mean, you can sit there and rip this and put it on Twitter, on Facebook. He'll probably tweet at us, like he always does, the Twitter warrior. But
we have to be real.
He looked old and slow to me, and especially when to me, Zaire Franklin looked like the cream of the crop out there, who basically played that role for Darius Leonard last year, filled that role in. But I thought Zaire Franklin looked better, personally, out there myself. But yeah, no Kenny Moore today, no Julian Blackmon. There was like 3 or 4 defensive starters that were out today. So Jonathan Taylor, not there. Left camp, quote, left camp to rehab his ankle is the exact word from Steichen today, which is a big load of crap. For that, he's left camp because he can't get a contract, and he's going to say, you know what? Well, shit, I'm not going to be here for that. So he's out. Colts went out this weekend, signed Kenyon Drake. If you're feeling happy, I heard some Colts fans say, "Oh, well, we got Kenyon Drake though." Oh, are you the same? Are we talking about the same Kenyon Drake? We ain't talking about like Drake the singer. We're talking Kenyon Drake. So if you're gonna rest your hands in that.
Put decent numbers on some bad things, man.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's the truth, man. That's just the truth, man.
Colts got a preseason game number 1 this Saturday, 1:00 up in Buffalo. Take on the Bills, John. Your thoughts as we've continued to kind of go through the Jonathan Taylor saga to where we're at now with this Indianapolis Colts squad?
Sam Ehlinger, let's go. That's what I've been thinking about. Sam Ehlinger, let's go, man. I just don't know, man, how much of a hot mess that Jim Irsay and Jonathan Taylor and Ballard kind of know that they kind of got on their heads, man. You know, that this turn quicker than the Pac-12 just, you know, dissolving. You know what I mean? To go to, like, you know, like, Brandon, again, man, this new quarterback kid that got coming in is like wet behind the ears in terms of college football. You know what I mean? He should somebody be talking about in the second half of this show, like, man, you know, Florida got that kid, Evan Richardson. I mean, that's what we should be talking about. But everybody struggles, everybody does, when they have to level up to this level. Whether they was Jalen Hurts, whether they was the homie down with the Jaguars, that came from Clemson. Everybody struggled. You know what I'm saying? Transitioning from elite college quarterback to NFL quarterback. So, like, we have the people, the staff, the scouts, including across the court, we have that data. So we know it's going to struggle, man. So, like, why would the team, knowing they have money to spend, you want to be less distractionary as possible. And you still even, you know what I'm saying, you playing this yo-yo game, and it's not even a yo-yo game now with Jonathan Taylor and Brandon is like, but Pittman Jr., you know what I'm saying, you said 3 more weeks, man. I'm like, man, this little scandal can't last that long, man. They need to kind of nip this in the bud. What are the Colts selling, Brandon? What are the Colts selling? You saw it. What you saw, and you hear what everybody hears on the local radio. You know what I'm saying? We don't get the truth here. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, our media, you know what I'm saying, composites are lying or anything like that, man, but they gonna kind of sugarcoat it, man. Just a little bit. The Colts are a sponsor. The Colts don't sponsor Conference Sports. You know what I'm saying? But like, no, man. Not to talk about, you know what I'm saying, king shit or anything like that, but like, listen, what are they selling? All right, this is really a super traditional year because, like, you ain't even invested the money in the offense of the player. So if the Stockton don't like this guy, then let's get him out. Like, why are we dragging the anvil? Why are we dragging this behind?
Colts
if
are.
Stockton, you said last.
No, I was just gonna say Colts are bringing in. I know they signed Kenyon Drake, but they're also bringing in for a meeting tomorrow. Kareem Hunt. It was reported that Kareem Hunt signed with the Saints this morning, which is totally false. He had a good meeting, but he left there, and he's heading up here to Indianapolis to meet with the Colts tomorrow. So
JC's gonna get traded. He said JC's gonna get traded. Jim Irsay said he wasn't gonna get traded in October. I guess he's gonna get traded in September.
But John, can he play? Let's talk about this. Because I've talked to other people who have asked me, can he really play another snap for this functional franchise that you have a problem with, where you want to get paid more for the work that you've done? So let me ask you this. Let me throw it another way. The big box store, the BB, you've been busting your ass for 12 years there, or even 4 years there, John, and you worked your way up, and you went to back of house to management, and you're running the operation and all that, and you find out that other people at BB is in another store or other places are making more money than what you're making, and you feel like you're not getting your value for what you've brought to this program. So, and they're saying, well, nope, this is what you're going to be at. I mean, there's no mend in that relationship, right? I mean, I feel like you wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. If they're saying and my coworkers are making this, I'm going to be staying.
Hold on. Did you tell my whole life story?
I tried not to. The BB.
I made it to 16, man. I made it to 16. Okay. If anybody wants to know. Brandon, at some point you can't necessarily worry about what somebody else is getting paid. However, you do have to find something your level of financial that's going to take care of you, you know what I'm saying, and your family. That's just the real. I mean, that's what I did. Though I wasn't making, you know what I'm saying. I don't necessarily compare apples to oranges and whatnot. I think the market is $12 million. The Colts can't pay him $12 million. The Colts can't pay him $12 million, then they should trade him.
Right.
Saquon Barkley got $11 million but Saquon Barkley is an often injured superstar running back. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Taylor, I get it, was injured last year, but he's a little bit more durable. I say the market must be between $11 and $12 million. Why couldn't they get a deal in that range, a multi-year deal? Brandon, the contracts in the NFL are guaranteed. Why are we losing our mind here? Dead cap space, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Dead cap space, you're moving a whale in 2 weeks, man. What do you care about dead cap space money? You know what I mean? I don't know why why have a softy Jonathan Taylor coming into camp, having everything the Colts are now media friendly. They like to be, they want to be felt loved and hubby and you know what I'm saying, all that. They should have just they should have knew when this whole thing and with New York Giants was spiraling out of control, that they were going to be targeted for. You have a superstar running back. What are you going to do, Coach? Are you going to be on board with, okay, we're going to franchise tag, we're going to do what the book, go by the book, or are you going to be a little bit different and say, hey, man, no, this is what we're going to do. Maybe we do something out the box here. No, not a 6-year contract for Jonathan Taylor, but like short term. It is 3 years, Jonathan. 3 years, $33 million, $40 million.
Right.
I'm talking like I'm, you know what I'm saying, show me the money, you know what I'm saying, you Tom Cruise and but you know, you get the scenario, man. No, but like if he legitimately asked for $16 million per year, that's a big, I don't know, Jonathan. The durability of your position, those come up into the talks. You know what I mean? But I don't know, Brandon, like you said, I think Shane Steichen would like to have a Jonathan Taylor all in, but he wants more backs that he can just kind of throw out there and see what they can do, not necessarily one superstar back.
Yeah. I will say, John, that about 2 hours ago, the Colts released their, quote, unofficial depth chart for preseason week number 1 versus Buffalo. The starters along the offensive line are the same as it was to close out the 2022 season. You've got Ryman, Nelson, Kelly, Fries, and Braden Smith. Ryman's at that left tackle position. Wide receivers, you've got Pittman and Isaiah McKenzie are your ones, and as well as Alec Pierce. So those are your 3 wideouts. Jonathan Taylor is in there, but he'll obviously be scratched out of there. Zach Moss will be scratched out of there. So Deion Jackson will kind of be up there at the unofficial number 1. At the quarterback position, it's the first time, and Adam Schefter said this about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers depth chart that got released this morning as well. It's the first time in the history of depth charts being released that it had Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. There was an or. So
90 seconds.
And so they were so they were making fun of that. Shoot. Give me one
Baker ain't wild. He didn't wild down here. Damn.
No, he didn't. Let me just, okay. Woo! Had to extend the show. I accidentally had it set for only 15 minutes, so we're good. So yeah, we're back now. But for the Colts, it has Gardner Minshew or Anthony Richardson. So it has Minshew listed as the 1 or Anthony Richards as number 2. So the Colts are even doing the or thing, which is interesting. So defensive wise, Grover Stewart at the nose tackle, Shaq Leonard at the wide LB, Zaire Franklin middle linebacker, EJ Speed the speed rusher. And then your safeties, Julian Blackman, Nick Cross, Kenny Moore, Tony Brown, Chris Lamons, and Michael Tootsie. And then Dallas Flowers, Darius Rush, and Jalen Jones as your cornerbacks, John. Your punt returner, Isaiah McKenzie and Josh Downs. Dallas Flowers and Isaiah McKenzie will do the kick returning duties. Tyquan Lewis was activated from the PUP list today, which allows him to practice with the team for the first time since training camp has begun. And after seeing more and more reps throughout the training camp, Shaq Leonard began to take padded practices this past weekend, 11-on-11 drills. So the Colts have given out their first depth chart. No surprises to me in there. I really, if you have to put and I said about Buccaneers on Twitter today, if you've got to put the or position down, you're not really too happy with either one being your number one, right? From what you've seen.
No, you are just this is preseason though.
Right, but what you've seen so far, if you can't do a definitive, this is going to be the guy that starts our preseason game number one, then you can't be liking what you've seen all year, all preseason so far.
Man, Brent, doesn't he have to just go out there and take all the preseason snaps and then just be the number two for the rest of the season?
You would think.
Doesn't that the football? Hey, let's try to win the first 3 weeks of the season. Says man, but like Brandon, Brandon, for real, I put my Colts fandom back on for like a minute. I separated once Peyton Manning the GOAT left. I separated my fandom from the Colts, man, and I thought, I became a part of the show, man. I separated my Colts fandom, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to be discouraged, man. Gardner Minshew is your starting quarterback. Gardner Minshew should be somebody's reserve. And I get it, man. People can remember. He was on the Super Bowl team last year. No, man, they stunk it up. Gardner Minshew stunk it up with the Jaguars. How many other years? Yeah, I know he lit the Colts up and they won the games, man. That shame on the last regime and the team they put together. But, man, Gardner Minshew is the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, man. You can take I'm Brandon, I got my fan hat on right now. You can take playoff out your mind, Craig. You can take that out your mind and out your memory, man. And tackle this on with the Jonathan Taylor controversy. Tackle this on with don't have any, uniqueness in the tight end. Do you really? Do you have any uniqueness in the tight end? You know what I'm saying? Roster or anything, you know what I'm saying? Something that you can depend upon, you know what I mean? No. I kind of like the wideouts, Brandon. I really do. I like the wideouts the coach of the Temple Hill, but can anybody get the ball to them?
Okay.
Right? I'll be with my fan hat on, I'd be highly, man. You said 6 games? Bro, Brandon, you gave them 2 games.
It'll be 6. It'll be 6. Did you see my my thing I put out with division predictions?
No, man, go over it. I didn't go. I understood.
Yeah, posted it on Facebook and Twitter over the weekend. I gave my predictions for how I think it's going to go for the upcoming season. I'm bringing it up right now, so give me a second here. I also went through and did a little. I did my Big Ten rankings for this year. So here, real quick. This is the problem I have with Indianapolis Colts fans. Okay, one of the biggest homers in the history of homers, and he's drinking the Kool-Aid of it, and it's bad. It's bad. I really thought this guy was a better fan than what he's showing out to be. And I'm talking to you, Reggie Sykes. I'm talking to you.
Oh, man.
Queen of Trolls.
That's a friend of the program.
It was. It was. He's got some explaining to do. He posted a picture 20 hours ago, and he put the quote, shake them haters off. And you know what that picture is, John?
I saw it, man.
This is what Colts fans, this is the Colts fan. This is the Colts that had how many seasons was it of 12 plus wins? The great quarterback of Peyton Manning. You had Marvin Harrison, Edgerrin James, Marshall, just keep going. And we're sitting here posting pictures about what Anthony Richardson has done the last 2 days of 11 versus 11 touch. And that's a touchdown to Amari Rodgers, Drew Ogletree, a touchdown to Michael Pittman, a 35-yard touchdown to Alec Pierce, a 15-yard touchdown to Kyle Grant. From what I saw today, 15 of 19 for 78%, 6 touchdowns in 2 days, receiving significantly more steps with the first team than Gardner Minshew. Oh my God! Everybody, let's go drink. Let's go out and drink a beer for this. This is so exciting. This is such exciting news for the Colts. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry. I'm saying it. Get out of here.
Oh man.
This is a soft-ass franchise. If you're going to post bullshit photos like this talking about Wiggins, well, you did 11 versus 11. I'm sorry. I went out here today and I saw 11 on 11. Westfield's varsity team could have came out there and ran some completions against that defense that today. They didn't try.
Oh, wow.
It was touch football. Get out of here. Colts, you're better than that. Colts fans, you're better than that. Reggie Sykes, you're better than that. That's terrible. We're sitting there posting highlights of 11 on 11? Come on. A training camp. Man. Not even a game. Training camp. Get out of here.
I wish we could pull up his sugar bowl highlights, but he said out of that too.
Get out of here with that. Somebody tag Reggie in that. I don't care. Let him hear this. I want him to hear this because he's a better fan than that. I expect more from him.
He'll probably call in later, man. It's all good.
I expect more from him.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, while I'm let me get back to my divisions here.
Get back on. Get back in. Reel it back in.
All right. So I've got
Huh? I thought you were gonna come to blows a couple episodes ago, man. You and Justin Fox, man.
Oh yeah, it's
y'all
all right.
Be wilding out, man. When y'all be talking about that North Division, AFC North, I'll be like, oh man, here we go.
So
it's like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart.
So I've got AFC East. I go Bills, Jets,
here we go.
Dolphins, Patriots.
I'm going the other way.
You're going Patriots?
No, man. What's going on? What's going on with Bill Belichick? You gonna get Trey Flowers? Got some money?
That's why they're last, John. That's why I haven't last.
Like, how are you gonna support your offense?
I don't know. Apparently, Mac Jones is better, but I don't know. I ain't seeing it.
Mac Jones' rookie year was Bill Belichick basically saying Mac Jones' rookie year was an offshoot. Don't count that. Like that was like. That's why he don't want to support, and that's why they didn't get DeAndre Hopkins. That's what that is, Brandon. He don't believe in the quarterback. The owner believes in the quarterback. Man, they ain't gonna have no good season. What I'm saying, man, I'm getting ready to turn on the Aaron Rodgers Jets thing, man. Hey, I'm not jumping on board with it.
You need to jump on board. You'll find out tonight. Tonight you will. Hard Knocks tonight, episode 1.
Right. I'm not jumping on board with it. Buffalo, Brandon, like, I don't know, man. I don't believe it. I'm not saying it's fraud. Nah.
They're fine.
Brandon, nah.
They're fine to win the division, John.
Okay. Nah.
Who are you believing in? The Dolphins?
I'm telling you. Aaron Rodgers.
You didn't even say that. Hold on. You didn't even say that with any conviction.
Nah.
You paused heavy on saying that. Yes.
Well, it depends on Tua's health. They have everything else. They got everything else going.
Okay, so does everything else. The Bills winning the division depends on Josh Allen's health.
They have a better.
He needs to quit running so much.
We know what that is. We know what that is. Well, if you don't run, you don't throw it in the end zone. When it's in the red zone.
How about the Jets?
Hey man, we give a lot of criticism, man, rightfully so, to Lamar Jackson, man. Josh Allen is, man, it's the same thing, Brandon. I went back and looked at some tape. I know it is, man. He was Choke City up some touchdowns, Fred. For real. I mean, I know you take him as your quarterback, but like, no, man. Who'd you say?
I've got Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots. And it's just like the Jets. The Jets could easily fall to 3rd or 4th if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. Quarterbacks, I think I have the division ranked basically as well.
They got
how that offense is.
They got a good. I don't know, man. They got a good backup though. The backup's the daggone lottery pick.
Okay. You ready for the North?
I don't know if the 219 market that listens to our show, you know what I'm saying, the folks in Gary and Chicago, I don't know if they're ready for it, man. Because Brandon,
well, I'm talking about the AFC North, not the NFC North.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're still in the AFC, John.
I'm sorry.
You jumping ahead.
I'm sorry. Don't flip flop on me.
AFC North, I've got Bengals 1.
What?
Steelers 2. Ravens 3. Browns 4.
The Ravens? They got them with 10 wins, I thought. Did that get them at 10 wins?
This one you just rank the teams. You don't put them. But I had them. I had them at 10 wins. So I have like a two-way. I got like the Bengals, with 11, and I have the Steelers and Ravens both with 10.
When I scouted this, Brandon, this is going to be a real tight division. I expect Cleveland to be better. I'm not saying like they playoff push better, but this is going to be the harder division to win. Of all the divisions, this is going to be the hardest division for the Bengals to win because it's so competition heavy between 2 and 3. Whoever you have 2 and 3 in, I had the Bengals at number 1 in this division, but whoever you got at 2 and 3, whether we the Steelers or the Ravens, like you know what I'm saying, it's like they're gonna be nipping at the Bengals' heels and potentially, you know what I'm saying, be one themselves.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So the margin of error, that's where we get into the Bengals' margin of error is very slight. They cannot sustain. They definitely can't sustain. You know what I'm saying? Quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Being out for a long period, again, you know what I'm saying? Extended games, even though they won without him. You know what I'm saying? Survive. You know, I'll say that. Survive. You know what I'm saying? Weeks without him. But that's going to be key here. I think the Steelers are the better team to weather a storm. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? A bad. A bad 3-game December. You know, not December, but December. But you know, 2 and 3 gonna be nipping at the heels of number 1. That's how I see the North Division.
Next one I have, John, is the AFC South. I've got Jaguars, Titans, Colts, Texans.
I don't want to lose no type of credibility in the Indianapolis streets, man. I don't know how you had the Colts third.
Well,
I don't.
We just talked about it. The quarterback position.
Hope springs eternal with Gardner Minshew. My goodness.
I mean,
where we at in Indianapolis?
Well, I mean, also the Colts. I mean, John, we just talked about it. The Colts fans are reposting and posting graphics of their quarterbacks 11-on-11 training camp stats. That's what we're doing. We're ecstatic about that. So,
Brandon, don't lose your mind. Don't lose your mind if by game 7 they ask for Sam Ellinger to play.
Well, I won't do it. I won't lose my mind. They did it last year. So it's not shocking there. I like that there was not much argument there. We kind of agreed a little bit kind of where divisions. I think the Jaguars, they had a great season last year coming back. I think with Peterson again adding to that. They also got, I believe, Calvin Ridley on that team now, who sat out a year with his suspension. So he's now onto that Jaguars team, a little more explosiveness for the offense there. I do like the Jags. The Titans, I just don't know. You know, you've got your Will Levis, you got your Tannehill. I know you got your wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. You're like, oh, we got a true number 1. Well, you had an end of life with Julio Jones for a year. You actually had A.J. Brown, who was the legit number 1 for some reason. So I just can't figure out Tennessee, but based off the makeup of the team and where I think they're going to progress better than what the Colts are. So that's why I've got them at 2. So in the AFC West, I've got Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, and then Raiders. Raiders in last. They traded everybody away.
I can't argue with that, man.
Okay.
I can't. I can't. I mean, it's nothing really to debate. Like, I can't believe Las Vegas Raiders, man. How are they? Like, they're going. Isn't he going to be the first coach to get fired? He has to be.
Good.
But the Chiefs should. I mean, they're going to. The Chargers, are they going to step up and not make boneheaded moves, decisions, and get to the playoffs and get a run in?
Yeah.
That's what everybody's on top of mind. The quarterback, you took care of the quarterback financially. He has weapons. They got a defense that can get stopped. Dude, they got to get to the playoffs. No excuses, or somebody will get fired.
I think they do. I kind of like them. I like them going into this coming up season. I think they've got potential. I don't know if they can win the division. I think the Chiefs obviously have it a wrap there, but I think they've got potential to make some good moves with that organization. With Eckler there, you still have Herbert for another year. Remember last year he wasn't even going to start, right? And then what's his face got hurt, and insert Herbert in there, and he played well. So Denver's going to get better. I got to feel with Russ and with Sean Payton in there, they're going to change up that offense and make it more suitable. I think it's not enough though to leap the Chargers or even the Chiefs there. So I've got them sitting in third. NFC East, which you previously used to call it the NFC least a couple years ago. First, I've got Philly. Second, I've got the Cowboys. Third, I have the Giants. And fourth, I have the Commanders. I think Philly continues their where they're at with Jalen Hurts. He's playing phenomenal right now. We'll see if the Eagles have a hangover from last year. We'll see if that happens. But Dallas, I'm sorry. I know Dak Prescott said that he wasn't going to throw more than 10 interceptions this year. I think he's already thrown 5 in training camp. And if we're talking stats for the Colts, then we have to talk stats for interceptions for quarterbacks. So he's already thrown 5. I got the Giants. The Giants are going to progress. They've starting to get some people in there with that team. They did well last year towards the end of the year. But you got Saquon on a 1-year deal. You got Daniel Jones back again. I felt like they added a couple pieces to that offense. I'm gonna look while you're talking about the NFC East.
No, man. What are we going to talk about? It's still the least, man. Washington, what are you doing? They'll be back in somebody's lottery next year. They will. The Giants came in. They were the median dogs last year, man. Daniel Jones got his contract, and then they said the Giants said, well, after running back.
Yeah, they've got Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, Darren Waller. Darren Waller's who they got in the trade from Oakland. So I think that was a good piece for them to get out there in New York.
The Giants, I feel like, are going to be the first team this year that have a tie. That's what I feel like that team is set up to do. They'll be the first team to have a tie. And we all moan and groan about it. It'll be the New York Giants. Thank you, Giants. You suck. Damn. That's what we all be mad about. But like, nah, man. The Dallas Cowboys, man. I don't know. A whole lot of put up and shut up from any of the Cowboys. I have, that rhetoric that they like to spew. I haven't seen any goofies. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of goofy people, Brandon. They are. I'm calling them out. Why are you throwing TV? Because we on the internet for clout? Because you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, you all expect to disappoint. At this point, you know what I'm saying? You get out there 7-0. Oh, man, we're feeling good. Big, reality hit. You're not playing the Vegas Raiders. You're not playing, Chuck USA Colts. You're not playing, whoever, in the cellar dweller of North Division. No, man, Dallas. We got breaking news, y'all.
Breaking news: the wife will not be happy with this, John. We are on the wait list for the Taylor Swift tickets. So we didn't get a verified code to use for ordering tickets, but we're on a wait list. So not gonna be happy with that. So that just came through. But I know all the Swifties were watching and listening, so had to get that out there. Are you going?
I wish I would. I wish I would.
I'd like to see you go. I think that'd be fun.
That's not gonna happen.
The next division, I've got some. I need everybody just to relax on. Okay, the NFC North.
Here we go.
First place, I've got the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow, you lost Chicago. We just lost Chicago, Brad.
Second, I have Detroit.
What?
Third,
out, y'all.
third, I'm taking Green Bay. And last, I'm taking the Chicago Bears. Vikings, Lions, Packers, Bears.
Wow. We're getting in trouble. The show's gone. The show's been torpedoed.
Oh, I told you they were going to be happy. Y'all. I said they ain't going to be happy.
Scott K. Nichols State Farm Insurance is the sponsor.
What?
Scott K. Nichols, he's a Detroit Lions fan.
Listen, they still got growth to do. They still have growth to do.
You got Chicago last?
John, Jordan Love's still with the Packers. The Packers are still the Packers. They're still a feasible team that owns the Bears. It's going to at least happen for another year. They did.
Chicago was dead last in sacks, and they picked up a lot of defensive help over the course of free agency. So you know that'll be plugged. I just don't know who Brandon. Man, you got to explain how you got this coming up. Man.
Well, let me tell you, Vikings got everybody back. I know, well, except for Dalvin Cook. They lost Dalvin Cook, but that's fine. They got Anthony Madison in that backfield. They're head and shoulders above the other three teams in that division. Quarterback play. You can make your fun of Kirk Cousins as much as you want, but every single one of those other three teams would rather have Kirk Cousins in as their quarterback for the regular season than what they've got currently right now, except for maybe the Bears for Justin Fields. But I'm just putting on the Fields and the Bears, John, the youth. The kid needs more experience. He was inconsistent last year. Yeah, he was flashy at times, but we need consistency. And I think I'm not saying the Bears are going to be trash forever. No, like they're going to one more year. One more year. Next year, Bears, you'll be there.
Wow.
Lions. Lions offense is going to get better. It was flashy last year. They averaged a shit ton of points last year. They just couldn't play no damn defense. I'm hoping one more year later they can finally play some defense and turn some of those losses into wins that they should have had last year. That's why I've got them at number 2 because their offense is still higher than what the Packers is. Packers have Jordan Love. We'll see what he does for a full season. But the Packers personnel, Packers head coach, I still like them at 3 over the Bears. And then Vikings, like I said, the whole personnel. I like what the Vikings did last year. They don't have Anthony Madison. I think the Vikings are just fine to claim the North one more year. One more year, Bears fans. Just one more year. That's all I'm saying. 1 year.
I'm Jonathan Birdsong. That's Brandon Reeves.
What's your rankings there?
The Bears. I don't have fourth, man. I've had them actually kind of leveling up, man, and maybe getting to the positive, Brandon. I had them at least 2 days in the positive. I didn't have you. Now you can't go from being like what you were the last 2 seasons and being into, you know what I'm saying, where we had 13-4. You know, the whole 17 games. Hold on, but you get my drift. You can't just flip the script just like that overnight, ladies and gentlemen. But because they had some things they need to improve. They got a lot of pieces of that Philadelphia defense that they paid for in free agency, but show improvement on the offense and like the connectivity, and then like Justin Fields' connectivity to the offense. And because they run the ball, man. So, like, I get it, right? I get Brandon. Like, you kind of going off, like, what you've seen is because, like, a lot of things, like, that's a lot of boxes to check. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you know what I'm saying, you create, just because you paid for it doesn't mean that they're going to work in your system.
How many wins do you say the Bears are going to have?
You want to feel unfair? I had them in 2 in the positive, man. I did. I had at least 9 wins. At least 9.
Las Vegas has it at 7.5.
Okay. Well, that's where we at. Las Vegas is Jonathan Birdsong to pay. You go with that with what you will. But Brandon, you had a dead last in the division, man.
Detroit Lions 9.5.
Detroit Lions. Here's what I
Packers 7.5. And
Detroit they got to be favorite.
Minnesota 8.5. So the Lions are the favorite to win the division per Vegas.
He's not gonna melt down. Jared Goff's not gonna melt down this year. Not in the regular season.
Colts 6.5.
Wins?
They're saying over. Vegas has over 6.5 wins at -120. Unders +100.
Wow.
So moving forward, and we'll get some bring it on Chicago. One more year. That's all I'm saying. One more year. And I should make a change in this one. I needed to make a change in this division. The NFC South, I've got Saints, Panthers, Falcons, Buccaneers. If Tampa Bay, if Baker Mayfield's your starting quarterback, Tampa, you're going back to last. I'm sorry. If it is, you're going last. Atlanta, Desmond Ritter, Kenyon Drake, Kyle Pitts. They just also drafted the running back. Who did they just get running back wise in the draft? Come on. Bijan Robinson. I like Atlanta's offense. That's disrespect. I disrespected Atlanta. I should switch Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay besides Mike Evans, but who the hell is going to give Mike Evans or Chris Godwin the ball when both quarterbacks can't throw to him?
Yeah, that's terrible. Maybe Mike Evans gets the trade up out of there, man. You never know, man.
Yep. Last division.
Man, that's a.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go to the last division.
Last division, I got 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, and the Cardinals. Cardinals will be last because I don't know if Kyler Murray's going to play this year with his ACL injury that he had last year. So 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals.
I like it because the Arizona Cardinals probably will be looking for another quarterback in the offseason. It's gonna be all on one side.
Maybe Kyler and come to Indy.
Stop.
I mean, if we're going to talk about maybe. I mean, if he was in Indianapolis right now, they'd be putting his Warzone stats on. They'd be posting and cheering about that.
Don't start that, man. Do not start that, man. You don't want him down in the embassy suites or nothing like that, man. Chilling up at Gen Con. You know what I mean? Y'all know he's a game. Like Kyler Murray and coach. Nobody wants none of that, man. You know?
Okay.
No.
All right. Let's swing over real quick.
This dude's doing rest in peace. You just brought it up too much tonight, man. This is disrespect.
It's only come up twice.
Rest in peace to who?
I want
to who?
This is rest in peace.
Now?
The Pac-12.
Oh, okay. Clearly.
The Pac-12, John.
I'm with it.
No longer exists.
Man, I'm about to say.
The years of Bill Walton on Thursday nights on ESPN. The Pac-12 championship football games on Friday nights late. Watching the air raid, those late games on Saturday night, trying to win your bets right before the end of the year because the day went to shit. No more. No more Adam Morrison.
Yeah. Well.
No more Jaime Jaquez.
Stop it.
No more Lute Olson.
Bro.
It's over, John. The Pac-12 is done.
Miles Simon. You know what I'm saying? Jason Terry.
The Duck. The Duck.
Arizona Wildcats. Man, you know, West Coast football, staying up late at night watching basketball.
Is done.
You know.
Steve Prefontaine. Who was the quarterback?
Damn.
Marcus Mariota. Joey Harrington. Marcus Tuliasosopo.
Oh, man.
Done. The Apple Bowl. The Apple Bowl is done.
Pete Carroll in the sandals.
Who did not love?
Man, I love Pete Carroll, man.
Who did not love waking up the day after Thanksgiving?
God bless you.
And you're putting your hours in at Best Buy for Black Friday, and you get your ass home after the big rush at 2 p.m. and you throw on that TV and you watch the Apple Bowl, Washington State.
You ate 5 Subway sandwiches at the daggone Best Buy, you know what I'm saying, lunch break. They done ordered up some, you know what I mean, Subway or some Quiznos, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Not to give everybody that free publicity. You know what I mean? But
no Washington State.
You come home, we got some turkey and ham ready to set up. Boom, bam, football.
No Herm Edwards.
Yeah, all that's gone, man.
No Herm Edwards.
You play to win the game.
God rest his soul.
You play to win the game.
No,
he ain't dead.
No Cordell Stewart. No Deion Sanders.
Well,
no Andrew Luck. No Christian McCaffrey.
Jim Harbaugh.
No Cal. The band is on the field. It's over.
What happened to that John Elway? what happened to that Pac-12? Pac-12 basketball was tight though. I thought it was pretty good.
R.I.P. to the Pac.
No championships, but
R.I.P. to the original Pac-8. The original Pac-8 logo.
It's probably going more, Brandon. I don't necessarily have a direct answer for you just yet. A lot of these people are throwing around the term mountain, that South Mountain West. Let's not forget that the Western Athletic Conference, the WAC is still out there. I'm not saying
the WAC is WAC.
They're necessarily going to like. They're not going to necessarily right. They're not going to say wow anybody, but like the western part of the United States still cares about Major League, college baseball. They do. The West Coast do care about baseball. There's money in that. Football it's a strange bedfellow with West. It is, man. So like from a programming standpoint, I know I don't want to go super nerdy, man. All right. From a programming standpoint, you might have a 1 million eye share for a university like California or Stanford, but like TV Network is like, yo, I can't sell that because of the time frame, the time disparity. They need California to be. I'm talking about California, not you. You know, they need Cal and Stanford to be good drawers and TV rankings, not only in the PM but in the AM. UCLA and USC, they carry their net weight in viewership in the AM or PM game. I know what people are saying. Hey man, UCLA, there ain't anybody showing up to them games. I feel like people watch the shit on TV. That's what kind of matters in like why this all this conference realignment. That's the TV networks kind of are in control of it. This is like, hey, if you can get XYZ LMLP, we'll give you this amount of money for you to disperse with your conference. That's how this works. That's why it's bugged to me, Brandon, that it's not a Pac-6. Because if I'm the Big Ten, Brandon, why do I want Oregon and why do I want Washington?
Because you want Oregon.
Football,
that's why.
No, hold on, Brandon. Ladies and gentlemen, I just said it 2 seconds ago. Football, people on the western side of the United States, they like to watch it. It's not their heart and soul. The heart and soul of football is in the southern part of the United States. It's in Florida. It's in Texas. If you got a Brandon, I'm getting so hyped, man. If I was the AD, if I was the athletic director of a football program or a basketball program, if you ain't scheduled your basketball team, you live in the north, and you ain't scheduled your team to play a football team, a basketball team, you are doing your university a disservice. Because you got to get your program into the heart of football country if you want it to survive. That's where the money flows. Either in rivalry games ain't going away, Brandon. They're just going to turn. They're going to shift. They're going to turn. They're going to become, all right, Texas beat our ass this year. Let's get them next year. It'll take time, but they'll build up. And the money will build up. For a little school, you got to jump into hey, man, get into the market. However you can. Ball State, don't lose your mind about somebody playing Georgia. Oh, man, they already did it. But we already know what's going to happen. But I'm saying from let's build Ball State basketball, you need to be playing somewhere in the Texas market. You do. Because that's where the money is. Or Florida, that's where the money is. Whether you think your program is ready to play that team or not, you better get it ready. Football or basketball. Get them in the heart. If football money and that network and the auctioneers are there, because it is, you got to get it there. But like Brandon, everything is shifting, and it's very dynamic, and it's like overnight. And if I was a mid-major school, I would get my program in the power conferences. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't get to, I mean, not playing them, but like get down south, Texas, Florida, Bama, Gulf Coast, get down there. Get your program name down there, Ball State. You know what I'm saying? IU. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're going to be coming.
Right.
It's not. Otherwise, you're going to become irrelevant. Like these people say. Otherwise, you're going to become irrelevant.
Well, you've got. So to give it a real quick update. By the way, the phone lines have lit up as I speak. Oregon and Washington both go to the Big Ten. Washington's there because Oregon needed a dance partner. Me and John, we talked about this over the weekend. Me and you. Oregon needed a dance partner. Washington was their dance partner to come in there. And then Arizona State, and Utah are going to the Big 12. The Big 12 is getting regenerated. So that's getting ACC's in talks with Stanford and Cal. You know, I can even see Stanford going independent themselves. So, but that's kind of where we're sitting right now. You know, I think the next one to fall will be Florida State. I think Florida State, and I know it's an ironclad contract, folks, but I think there's a way that they can find a way out of this. And the next team to move would be a Florida State, and then their dancing partner would probably be Clemson or North Carolina. You know, Big Ten has two more teams would put them at 20.
Big Ten needs to make it.
But it'd be a first in history to get rid of some teams, a la Maryland, a la Rutgers, a la Northwestern. Yeah. So
trade some of them.
Let's start taking our calls. We got some calls on here. What's going on? Nas, what's going on, man?
Not much. What's going on?
Oh, not much, man. It's talking the college football landscape. And as I was telling John, this not only for everybody looking at football aspect of this, but I put on Twitter over the weekend, before long, ladies and gentlemen, the NCAA tournament that we know it for basketball, March Madness, is going to be dead. And it's just going to be all those main two power conferences with all their teams only. There's going to be no little schools. The tournament will be dead as we know it.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, honestly, this whole formation to me is what we're seeing right now is the little guy's last big bag. The smaller schools who won't be in the super conferences, who are going to have to go back to the regional ties and all of that stuff, this is, their last little shining moment because, as we all know, once all these TV deals are up and everything, and once they get everything situated, they're just going to tell the NCAA to go spit. Like, you're not a real governing body. You don't have any control over us. We're going to put these super conferences together, and it's going to be essentially semi-pro football and basketball. And honestly, I'm wondering how basketball is even going to pull it off. We know football, no matter what, it's going to work with the super conference. The basketball one gets a little more difficult, but yeah, we're watching college basketball and football just basically be written by TV markets now. So it's just a scramble to get as many marketplaces as you can, and to hell with rivalries and all the other things, and everything that made college football what it was. They're just throwing it away because, but honestly, there's just so much money. How do you turn it down? John Skipper last year, when he was talking about this, he made the estimate of $300 million per team per season, and maybe he was being, a little, I don't know, a little cheap with that. Like it might be more than that. Like this is gonna get ridiculous. They got their own networks. They'll have whatever regional deal they want. Throw in the NIL money or whatever they can squeeze out of sponsors, and just the way live TV is so important right now anyway, because think about it. You've all got your streaming services or whatever you sign up for, but live sports is the one thing you don't want to hear the result about, or you can't wait and binge it on your own time. You have to be there and see it then to really fully enjoy it. And they're just gonna destroy all the things we kind of grew up on. And I'm not saying this is like some nostalgic, crybaby, like, oh, they're ruining the good of college football. Well, a lot of college football and basketball was corrupt anyway. The NCAA was a cartel. Players should be paid for playing, period. You shouldn't be using sponsors as a go-between and a middleman to pay the players a salary that you should be doing because they actually are employees. So, there's so much here, man. I'm glad you guys are talking about it because I can't get enough of these conversations, man, because we don't know where this is going to go, but we all kind of agree that the super conference thing is just looming, and the NCAA is on borrowed time. And when we go back to that article written a few years ago where they talked about the whole concept of student athlete, every other way they were able to kind of rig the system into their favor to create this, this monstrosity. So now that it's being torn down, I don't even know if I can be the angry old dude complaining about it because it should be torn down. But the makeup is interesting so far.
Yeah, I will say the Pac-12 has nobody to blame but themselves. The way they've handled this over the last 4 or 5 years. The Big Ten, when you're looking at contracts, the Big Ten, and they were partnered with Fox, ACC and the SEC both partnered with ESPN. When you talk about these TV contracts, when these new TV contracts come up, ESPN's, the Foxes, they have an umbrella of networks that, Disney also is with ESPN and Fox Sports, Fox, the regular station, those things all under the umbrella. So it was at that point where they've got to, we don't want to lose these stations. So we got to keep these on here. And that's where the Big Ten, the ACC, and the SEC tied to these networks, tied to these TV deals, were backed by it. The Pac-12 is the only conference that went out there and tried to do their own, and you've seen what it's done. Nobody backed them. You have to do its own streaming thing. You didn't know where the hell to watch a Pac-12 game. And I give credit to those 3 other conferences that they were backed with a certain TV provider that offers the umbrella of putting their games on multiple channels that they can watch and stream. And the Pac-12 just didn't do it. And they tried to make money. Did not make money from it. And it's one of those that I put it best to the guy I work with is you're all out at the bar and it's time to leave. And the Pac-12, the Big Ten, the SEC, and the ACC, and all that, I've all called Ubers. But the Pac-12 says, no, man, I got this yellow cab that's coming to pick me up. Man, yellow cab's always reliable. Yellow cab pick me up. Well, it's 3:15. We're all home already from our Ubers. And that yellow cab still hasn't picked up the Pac-12 outside the bar. And they're just kind of left on their own. So Pac-12 to me has nobody left to it's their own demise and their own reason, their own fault for it. Their athletic director basically pissed away the conference.
Again, the Pac-12 had a false sense of what they were. Again, I go back to the viewership. You have good viewership numbers with Stanford. You have good viewership numbers with Oregon. You have good viewership numbers. But these are a little kind of false, man, because they're built upon national rivalries, not necessarily national brands. You know what I'm saying? So the people go crazy. Yes, my mother and father drive up from, Soho to go watch my games, up in Sacramento or whatever, when they play that small school, and it's a good viewership. Because, California got built in 500 million people to watch TV. You know what I mean? At any given point. But, a million viewership is not necessarily the bar anymore. They want to get you hey, man, the daggone the Hall of Fame game drew, 4 million people, 4.6 million people? And that's a poor TV product. That's how from the TV side people. That's a poor TV product. Right. The Hall of Fame game is a poor TV product. So if 2 million people watch a California game when they play XYZ school, or Stanford game when they play XYZ school, great. But you can't build a conference.
90 seconds.
There wasn't a sense of urgency when you lost your big brand USC. There wasn't a sense of urgency. I don't even was when you said there was an invitation when Texas beat Oklahoma. I was losing my mind when I heard the day that Texas and Oklahoma wanted to go over. I didn't understand. Now I do. You know what I'm saying? Right. But they did, and he was like, no, we think we're fine. Because he didn't kind of want to piss off the
60 seconds.
USC is a coddled brand. It is. I don't know if USC knows that if they're going to get the same coddling that they had in the past.
Uh-huh. Because
the Big Ten coddles, shame on me, y'all, the Big Ten coddles Ohio State and Michigan. That's why they're not in the same division. Amen. Right? So I don't know if they get the same type of coddling. They might. How many teams are there?
Well, not the same type of coddling, but they're getting a bigger piece of a bigger pie and access to California. For the rest of the Big Ten, that was.
Well, I'm talking about. Right. I'm talking about protecting that. Well, I'm talking about protecting that one loss record too. I'm talking about protecting that one loss record too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And keeping some of that pristine, because that's part of how
10 seconds.
Well, man. I don't know how all this kind of shakes out, because I think the Big Ten, you took, like I said, you took off Oregon and Washington as a favor because you wanted to be money already, flowing through all your programs.
Uh-huh.
You didn't even know Oregon's like your money. I don't really understand that part of the West Coast. I guess we're gonna find out. Football's gonna be easy navigation. My personal opinion, it's a 1 game a week thing. We're not gonna lose our mind. They're not gonna start scheduling Rutgers and Rutgers and USC,
Maryland,
Saturday or something like that. Yeah. There's gonna be, and obviously there's gonna be somewhere in the middle that they're all gonna meet. You know what I mean? I think they're gonna chop it up. They're gonna make divisions. You know what I mean? What that looks like is gonna be kooky, because I think a Midwestern team's gonna be asked out. They're gonna be like, oh, Penn State. That's another brand that kind of gets protected around here in the Big Ten world. How do you protect Penn State from cannibalizing USC and Ohio State every year? You can't have them all playing every year together, can you? You still want to protect the Rose Bowl. Now you control that, right? You still want to have that big game, because that's big money, that's big viewership, the Rose Bowl. You know what I mean? So how does all that work? I'm sure they're all somewhere in the Big Ten trying to figure it out right now, because that's,
don't think of it. Big Dog, don't think of it from the nostalgia point of protect the Rose Bowl. Think of it like these guys are thinking it, where you're saying, hey, these are new areas to be conquered. So their idea would be something much bigger than the Rose Bowl, that all of the other hands that used to get, fed out of that pie, they no longer get fed. And ultimately, this is going to turn into, all of the big dogs are going to turn and look at the smaller ones and say, okay, why are we carrying you guys again? And that's when the ridiculous
right. That's what you have.
That's when, remember the Big 12.
Well, let me ask you this.
ESPN had to pay for the Longhorn Network in order to entice Texas to stay, because they were going to leave.
I know.
And they made the rest of the conference bow down to keep them in there for those few years.
They did.
So that's what's going to happen regionally. All of the big fish are just going to eat them.
Right. What would you? Here's my, and I'm going to look at it from a local perspective here with Purdue and Indiana, two football teams that are already in the bottom tier of the conference.
Ooh.
And why would you, as a university, hey, we've already got 2 middle tier for football, basketball programs are both good, but you're you bring in Washington and Oregon, and you've already got USC and UCLA coming in. Why would you say, yeah, come on in? You're just putting yourself a further down a tier where you have zero chance of ever winning a Big Ten championship in football ever again. With these new other teams coming in here, that I never understood why a 7th or 8th place, 9th place team in a Big Ten conference through 14 would say, yeah, let's go ahead and bring these teams in here. Let's go ahead and do it. Because you also have to tie up,
but you have to
split up that revenue even more. So it's
like bank robbers. This is your one last job. If you're the smaller school, you look at this scenario like, okay, we know eventually they're going to try to crowd us out. So let us get as much as we can now to build towards the future. Now, here's the flip side to fans. All of the people who said it's about the front of the jersey and not the back, and they love the rivalries and everything else, guess what? These smaller schools, we're going to see some interstate games like we've never seen. We're going to see bus type visits, as far as games being really close and you kind of really building a community around the team. And no, you don't have the big national network, but the local network is showing that game and that rivalry. And the kids who aren't 5 stars are going to aspire to go there and play locally in front of their friends and family. And maybe you don't fly across the country, but you're going to get that real old school college experience. So if that actually matters, that's going to be available for them, the ones who are left out in the cold from, all of the big money, major program stuff.
Yep. Okay. Nas, anything else before we let you go to the next?
No, I probably need to take a nap. I'm running my big mouth again about the NCAA. I know they're tired all the time, especially on y'all show, and I call in, running my mouth. But, man, thank y'all for the topic. Beautiful to hear. And now I got to look into the USC stuff because y'all brought that up. Now I got to look more into that.
Yep.
And that'll keep me moving for another hour.
Beautiful. Thanks,
Well,
Nas.
thank
Have a
y'all,
good
man.
evening. All right, that's our guy, Nas. Let's go ahead and bring our next one on. D-Cop. What's going on, D-Cop?
Hey, what's happening, fellas? Y'all doing okay tonight?
Doing well. Well,
Yeah,
I was
hold
doing
on,
well
man.
until I saw your did you hear my rant about your twin?
No, I did. I was
Reggie
working for 27. Oh God.
I want to
So
say
go ahead. I missed it.
I won't go all out what I did, but it's just I told Jonathan the Indianapolis Colts, who are rich in history with a Peyton Manning, Edger, and James Marvin Harrison, 13 wins, 14 wins, Super Bowl champs, yada yada yada. But on Facebook, one of their super fans, Reggie Sykes, posts a picture with stats of their quarterback during effing training camp.
Yeah.
Is that what we're resorting to now as Colts fans? We're putting posting stats on training camp where they're playing half-ass defense? Come on. He's Colts fans. You got to be better than that. Reggie Sykes, you got to be better than that.
Hey, listen, he got took to the woodshed in one of our sports groups, man. No worries.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say that.
Yeah.
He
got took to the woodshed. And it wasn't.
I couldn't believe he posted.
I mean, but that's who he is.
I didn't say that.
Right? It doesn't matter.
He's calling in. He's calling in. He's on. I haven't brought him in yet.
Can we wait a second. I'm gonna get a couple points out, and then you can add me.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I want to talk about the Big Ten. Brandon, you talked about it, right? Why would I, as a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 team in the Big Ten, say I'm okay with it? Unless you're saying you've got some type of backdoor handshake to say, listen, you're not going anywhere. Because that comes with money. I'm talking about a handshake.
I don't know.
With money. But no, I'm not saying.
I feel like Vanderbilt, Northwestern are coming to the match, Brandon.
Hey, listen. I don't know why
Missouri
they would do it, but clearly they did do it. But I would tell you this, Brandon. You mentioned this earlier in the call, in the monologue. Rutgers, Maryland, Nebraska
Coming to the match.
need to worry. They need to worry. That's what I believe. They need to, because you know why? Because they're not original. They're not, and they gotta go. And I'm not gonna get.
Rutgers is Rutgers is good, man. They're in that New York market, man. No sir, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rutgers is good, man.
Hey, John,
they're in that New York market.
We're not talking about this. Yeah, John.
They probably wish Rick Pitino was in Rutgers.
They're the UCLA of the East Coast.
Yeah.
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 So, but to that point, they've got to go, right? We talked about this last year, if you guys remember, when the move came with Texas and
at some point, so
the SEC.
You know what,
right.
Brandon and D-Cot? At some point, basketball money is gonna have to stay at the table. I'm telling you.
Think.
Yeah.
At some point, basketball money is gonna be like, well, that might work for the football people. It don't work from a recruiter standpoint. Like rivalries, like I'm not saying TV to smash rivalries already, but like from a rivalry standpoint, like Kentucky, Indiana, that stuff, like that matters still. Like where you go to school at. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. But I think, like I said, basketball is gonna have to stay at some point. It might not be a big thing like it is right now, where Arizona's gonna be like, well, we gonna be in the Big 12 for only 1 year, and now we're gonna get the hell up out because we're really here anyway. Right?
I will say this, right? It looks all good right now, but a lot of this, and I know teams move prior to NIL, but the big moves that happen on the heels of this NIL, right? What do you say, Jonathan?
Duke should.
Or go independent, like this one guy.
Or go independent.
I can't remember.
The basketball program, whatever these networks will be talking about, would be like lowballing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I'll say this, right? I'll say when the big move came, as we start talking about, hey, there's not going to be legislation for the NIL. So now I think we can put to bed. Or put the rest conversation about these players are just a waste of their money. This is ridiculous. Now they're all doing it. So now if everybody's doing it, no one's complaining, right?
Okay.
That's what I hope. That's my hope, right? Everybody's doing it now. So let's not act as though, UCLA just wanted to go to the Big Ten. Are you kidding me? Wait till middle.
They want to be in a bigger. They want to put themselves in bigger games, man. They want to put themselves in bigger games.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's it. Wait till middle of November when UCLA goes to Wisconsin. Wait till they go to Bloomington or West Lafayette or Penn State. Good luck. I can't wait to
Wisconsin. You talk about football? UCLA football?
Yeah.
Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Where you gonna get
exactly.
That won't be for 3 years, because in 2 years they play at UCLA. So.
But you follow what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
It's
But
just
again, it's a good problem to have, and it's great for talking points. I love watching online. Everything's online about NIL. Greg Sankey just came out about 40 minutes ago asking the NCAA to rethink the playoff platform because things have changed.
well, they have to.
You know, we all know Greg Sankey.
What? We got to go back to BCS?
No, John. They're gonna do.
Greg Sankey he's the king of all of every.
First of all, hold up. He's an SEC
right?
guy. I don't trust him.
You're gonna
I
come.
don't trust him, Brad.
No, listen. One thing. He said it, not me. What I'm saying is because he realizes.
He is an SEC guy.
Right, the platform has changed, right? And I'm not saying I'm okay with it. I'm just saying he just came out less than an hour ago, and I promise you, it's going to be looked at because it has changed, right? You know why? He's protecting his money. He's protecting money, right?
Real quick.
It is my mission. It is. Go ahead, Brad.
No, I was just gonna say it was 6 conference champions and the 6 next best in the rankings. What it's probably end up being is going to be the top 5. It's going to be the 5 conference champions or 4 conference champions, depending on what it looks like, plus 6 or 7 next best ranked teams will still have the 12-man playoff. That's what it's looking like it's going to be since the Pac-12 is dissolved.
Well, it's going to be interesting for sure. But again, it's all because of this movement, right? So right now, the dust hasn't settled. It's going to be about 3 years for the dust settles. And let's see. We're talking about this in 2026. Right. That's what I'm really interested because there's a lot of dominoes that are impacted based off of these moves, and we won't know right now until a few years to see what happens. I'll be watching. Hopefully, I'll be more when the creek don't rise. I'll be watching and see what happens because it's going to be an interesting take for sure.
Okay. Now, D-Cop, I want you to stay on here. I'm going to keep you alive. But I just need you quiet.
I'm going to be civil, too. I'm going to be civil.
Notre Dame.
Now.
I'm just going to listen.
I need to re-emphasize what I'm going to say to him because he's going to come on and he better have a hell of an answer because with the Indianapolis Colts, and I don't want you worry about your team because you know what? He's the only one. Even Colts. There's some Colts fans I know that are embarrassed to see that post. When you're posting, anyways, you have Peyton Manning. You've got the Ring of Honor, Jeff Saturday, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, all these guys, and you're going to sit there and you're talking about 12, 14, 13 wins. How many years in a row did they do that? How many years? Like 20 years, right? Prestigious Indianapolis Colts for the shoe, and we're going to sit there and post effing rookie quarterback training camp stats? We're going to post training camp stats? That's what we're at now? Reggie Sykes, you are better than that. You better come defend yourself. You're better than that. Reggie, come on now.
How you fellas doing today, man?
I was good until I saw your post. I'm upset.
See, man, I'm in Milwaukee, man. I had a great veteran Navy guy pass away, my uncle. And,
my apologies.
Man, it was a great ceremony, and he was he could have been a doctor, man, coming out of Tennessee and everything. Everything was great, man. But now on to the sports talk. Let's start off with the college ball. And I hear what y'all talking about. Y'all listening to an SEC guy. The SEC is the conference that started all this. The SEC started these mergers. It's not about basketball or football. It's about the TV contract and the money they can drink. I heard somebody say something about Rutgers and Maryland. Rutgers is the New York market, as Birdsong said. That's big money. If you can cover from nation to nation, you're going to get more money for your TV contract. And that's just facts. College football with NIL and the college basketball is not about the student athlete anymore. It's about how much money the universities can make. And the SEC started this mess, and the Big Ten is finishing this. And the SEC people are just mad because the Big Ten is a bigger conference now, and they're probably going to add 2 more teams. I wouldn't be surprised if Cal and Stanford came into the Big Ten. And I wouldn't be surprised if Notre Dame came into the Big Ten. But can I talk to you? I said your point. You didn't let me be on my point.
Reg.
Can you just shut up and let me talk?
I'm sorry, Reg. Notre Dame is not going to ever join the conference. Never.
They may not go. But the SEC started this stuff. That's why the Big Ten has expanded the way they're made. They're going to get a hell of a deal. Let me tell you something else. If the ACC didn't have that killer contract where the teams couldn't get out until 2036, Duke and North Carolina and Florida State would come to the Big Ten, not the SEC. Not the SEC. They would come to the Big Ten because the Big Ten is going to be the money conference. And now on to you talking about my coach. Now on to y'all talking about I'm on a sports show.
This will be good. We told the truth.
Y'all talking about my Indianapolis coach.
No, Greg.
Look, he had the. Can I talk about the coach now?
Johnson, please.
Can I talk about it? Can I talk?
Let's hear the idiocy.
Talk about it.
Let's hear the idiocy. Please, Johnson.
Talk about it.
Let me have the floor.
Idiocy, man.
Both parties
Idiocy.
are wrong in the Jonathan Taylor thing. When Irsay said what he said, he wasn't just talking about Jonathan Taylor. He was talking about all running backs overall. The running back should have opposed that contract from the get-go when the collective bargaining agreement was up. I understand. I agree with Irsay and I agree with Jonathan Taylor. But Jonathan Taylor has no leverage right now, and I want him to be a coach. He's got himself put at $4.3 million. And I do think that around the 4th or 5th game, once he's proved who he is, because he's not going to leave $4.3 million on the table. He's going to come back, and he's going to play, and Irsay's going to say, okay, let's re-sign him. But he's not going to get the $16 million that he's won. He'll probably get $13 million. He's not going to get $16 million. He'll probably get $13 million. Next, the reason I'm posting Richardson's stats is because Richardson doesn't have any pro games. He did very good. I want Richardson to win the starting job because he needs to learn on the job like Trevor, Peyton Manning, and everybody else. So he needs to learn on the job like the rest of them.
You don't need to post stats.
And I'm saying that he's doing
Fucking
good.
training camp
He's
stats. You don't post
what they expect.
You don't post training camp stats.
Look, first of all,
especially what I saw out there today when I went out there. I saw a lot of half-assing.
You need to worry about the Steelers quarterback.
Here we go. I told him I didn't want that excuse. He's using that excuse.
It ain't no excuse. It's a fact. It's a fact. It ain't an excuse.
You seem a little violent. Today.
No. I didn't let y'all get your point. I'm just saying, Richardson. Let's give Richardson a chance, okay? Let's see what he does.
Give him a chance. That's fine. But you don't need to be ecstatic.
Can I talk?
You're giving it.
Oh, y'all gonna let me. Can I talk?
Go ahead.
Richardson is gonna get him. He's gonna get a lot of snaps Saturday, and I want to see how he does. I want to see how he does against somebody that's not the coach. I want to see how he does against somebody that's not the coach. I'm anxious to see because Richardson is our future. He's 255 pounds, 6'4". He runs a faster 4. He runs a faster 40 than Derrick Henry.
He's reading down the meme, y'all. Reggie's reading down the meme that he ain't supposed to be talking about.
Excuse me, Birdsong. I know the meme by heart. I'm not reading. I know the stats by heart. I know it by heart.
I'm sorry.
So first of all, you're talking to a guy who don't even have an NFL team. He got 15 teams. We got a Steelers guy.
8.
And you know what? Hold on. You know who led the running back revolt? Najee Harris led that.
Wrong.
When they had that Zoom call.
Wrong. He didn't lead it. He was part of it, but he didn't lead it.
Oh, he's the main one pushing it.
No, he's not. He's got 3 years left still on his deal.
Yeah, let me tell you something. He's pushing it. Running backs. I don't know why teams don't value running backs.
Hey, I'll tell you this.
To get paid. I agree.
There ain't a single Steeler or Steeler fan that ever posted training camp stats for a running back or a quarterback. It ain't never happened in those organizations. We're better than that.
Look, after Matt Ryan, I'm happy to see the stats I'm seeing. Okay?
I mean, hey, I can pull back tape of what you said about Matt Ryan last year if I need to, because you were all about it. He was leading the way to the promised land.
A strong man can admit when he's wrong.
I appreciate that.
I was wrong about Matt Ryan.
Well,
D-Con, you can learn a thing or two from that.
wait. Hey, can we get this recorded? Is this recorded?
No, I'm sure he's recording the conversation. Because I'm on the sports show and they talk crazy.
Thank you for apologizing, Reggie. D-Con would learn something from that.
Look,
please.
And it ain't good. And I'm just not going to sit up here and let y'all talk about my team. I'm excited about my team. I'm excited about our quarterback.
Talk about these practice stats. I want to hear some more about the practice stats.
What about your 15 teams? Who are you concerned about? You always the winner. You just picked the Super Bowl winner. That's how you do.
But you posted this, so I want you to talk. I want to give you the floor to explain what you see.
Okay. Because he only played 13 games as a college quarterback, I was excited because people wouldn't expect him to be as far as long as he is right now. So I'm excited. This is a coach's future. So I'm very excited about it. I think you need to worry about Ball State and quit worrying about Rich. I think you need to do.
So with that said, since we're admitting that we were wrong and all those things, we appreciate you admitting you were wrong, Reggie.
No, I'm not wrong at anything. You're just a troll. You want to think like you're a troll, man. You're just a troll. You want to be me. You need to stop trolling people on Facebook and Twitter.
Well, I would never do that. I'm just innocent guy.
What you do? You tag me in every post on Facebook.
We're just having a good time, partner. Hey, but to the point though, Reggie, I know, listen, I really appreciate the fact that you are a great Colts fan. You give me so much bulletin board material, you can't stop it. I appreciate you going to the woodshed for your team. And
I don't like you. Man. Your grandkids don't like you. And you don't even have an NFL team.
You follow beautiful girls. You know how they love you. Anyway,
they are beautiful. They don't like you though.
Oh. All right. Let me ring it in. Let me ring this in a little bit.
He's just like the equalizer. Hold on, he talks out like the equalizer.
Equalize it out.
Hey man, cut it right there.
I'm in Milwaukee, the home of the Milwaukee Brewers and Green Bay Packers right now.
Hey man, they're kicking the Cubs.
And the Bucks. Right. My cousin said the Bucks too.
Okay.
She's high on the Bucks this year.
Reg, I appreciate you coming on.
I'll go back and listen to the rest of the show. Yeah. But because I can't talk to that ass. Oh, I can't say that online.
You can say it. I don't care.
Online right now.
You can say it. I don't care.
I'm not going to cuss on your show. I
will tell you this, Reggie. Let me go quick. Reggie, thank you for coming on. Thank you for answering because we had the questions. But just do me one favor. Don't post any more training camp stats like that. Please don't. Because
I'm going to post. And when he gets go off on Saturday preseason game, I'm going to post those stats too. You guys have a good day. I'm hanging up.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you, Reggie. Have a good day, buddy. Miss you.
All right.
Hey, listen, guys. Hey, listen, real quick, guys.
I got one more caller.
I do want to do a quick tell you what. I'll let you call it in because I know people want to call in. That's good. I'll hit you guys on the other side and all social media with some good topics and stuff, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Thanks, D-Cot.
And by the way, last thing. I am going down south tomorrow. I may slide into Montgomery, Alabama.
Oh wow!
So I'm heading down south.
Hey,
I will be going through.
If you throw your hat in the air, I'm there.
Hey!
Oh my God!
Brandon, I may go.
I'm down.
In all actuality, my mother-in-law's turning 82 years old, man, and we're having a big birthday bash for her. And I'm the lead cook on the grill, so I'll probably go live or at least have a lot of pictures for that for sure.
Okay. Like, hey, the new bat signal is the hat getting thrown in the air. That means it's getting popping. So
yeah, I got it, and of course I'm doing that. You know that.
You got that chair with you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Hey, I'm gonna keep listening to the show, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, D-Cot. Appreciate it.
Man.
Oh, my.
Thanks for calling in, man.
Holy shit, this show has been off the rails.
Wow for that. This is definitely set up until I take it.
Let's bring on my man on here. He's been on hold the whole time. Sweet Lou, what's going on, my guy?
Sweet Lou, East Coast.
Uh-oh. Oh, I had him. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I thought.
All right, try again. Call back in, Sweet Lou.
Yeah, he needs to call back in. We'll bring him on. But
the phone line lit up, man.
Yeah, that's what.
Call back in 929-477-3331. If you are listening live, you want to get your sports opinion through the phone lines. We'll be on probably.
You know what? I want to ask. I'm going to start asking people if posting training camp stats is what we should be doing right now for our teams. I think we're better than that.
Call in. Is that cool? 929-477-3331.
Yeah. If Nas is still listening, call back, Nas. I'm going to bring you on. I want to ask him if he would be ever caught dead posting the stats of his quarterback's training camp stats.
Man,
he
wanted to shout him out, man.
Oh,
that's ain't gonna win you game. You gotta win game one, man.
Yeah, right.
What are we doing here?
SummerSlam recap, John. Jey Uso, Roman Reigns. Reigns wins. Jimmy comes back, gives the old sweet chin to his twin brother. I went back and found the clips of Roman's interview about how you can't be a tribal chief if you have a twin. So that makes a lot more sense. You can either be a twin or a tribal chief. So that was Jay's way of saying, screw my brother, I want to be on my own, and that's probably what pissed off Jimmy. But love the storyline, love where this is going. Your thoughts from it?
Yeah, man, they got a long history storytelling going on with in that WWE storyline, man. Get on board. It's like a mystery soap opera with inside the WWE universe. There's also some other matches on that card.
Lesnar was good.
Lesnar and Cody Rhodes.
It was a good match, John.
Man, it's all right. It's okay.
There was no.
I can't poo-poo it, man. I can't uplift it either, man. With Lesnar, that was all right. What's name was forgettable, man. Really, Finn Balor, and it was forgettable, man. I was kind of disappointed, man.
So was the Rousey match.
That particular match. Are you asking? Or are you telling me?
No, I'm telling you, the Rousey match was terrible as well.
Oh yeah, I didn't understand. They had a better video package. Shayna Baszler, I believe more in her video package than I did that match.
You're a believer now of Logan Paul now, right? He put a good match on. Him and Ricochet.
Man, the Paul brothers had the best August. What day was that? August 5th. They had the best August 5th of any brother duo since the Steiner brothers, man. Logan Paul beat Ricochet. Should have never, man. It was a dirty finish. That was cool. It was cool. Dirty finish. And then his brother actually won a boxing match against Nate Diaz.
Yep.
They had a good Saturday.
Last thing I have, quick hitter wise, I want to thank our sponsor, Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance, if he still likes us after my Bears comment, as well as Maverick Custom Motorsports.
No, he's different. Like Detroit.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He'll like it. I got them second. Miami Heat, John, they are about to repackage a trade offer for Damian Lillard. It's going to center Hero, Nurkic, and then some draft assets as well is what's looking like it's going to be. And there has to be a third team involved in this trade. But looks like they're going to give it one more try here shortly. Anthony Davis just signed a 3-year extension with the Lakers. So he's going to be there for 3 more years.
Like $60 million a year.
Wow. Wasting that money. Street clothes. So.
I hope not.
Anything else you have, John? Before we go ahead.
Nah, man. Cade Cunningham looked pretty good in scrimmages, man. But he's not the official team. The best looking guy in Team USA
Halliburton
is Jared Jackson Jr. He's kind of like the star of the team, as they would say. Other than that, man, the NBA is gonna be kind of quiet until we hit about September. Just keep waiting, man. Keep waiting, man. You know,
football time
on that basketball tip.
2 weeks away.
It's all out. It's all out football time, man. You know what I'm saying? People gonna be looking at the team a little bit more uniquely. I know a lot of people ask us. Actually, Justin Fox again from the Epic Podcast. He asked us, "Do we about fantasy football, man?" So there'll be that. I know coming up, me and Brandon the homie will be talking about, you know what I'm saying, college sports betting. That's going to change just drastically, you know what I'm saying, our recent picks. You know what I'm saying? So, like, no, man, Crossroads Sports, man, it was great to get back on. It's going to be great. Another great week in sports, you know what I'm saying, as we go, you know what I'm saying, as it's day-to-day talking with between college football and how that's going to look like from a regional standpoint. Like, no, man, it's great to be, you know what I'm saying, chatting up.
Fiery show tonight.
Fiery show tonight, man. Brandon, take us out.
Appreciate everybody. Next week's show, I'll be tuning in. The conversation continues on Twitter, on Facebook, on Threads, if that's still a thing. But we'll be on there. Catch us bigger, better than ever. Hey, IndyCar, NASCAR, both this weekend here in Indianapolis. So I wanted to give a quick shout out for that. Other than that, we'll see what happens with the ACC and what happens with these other Pac-12 teams. I don't think we're done, but the future does not look bright for the NCAA tournament. So that's what I got to say with that. We've got Tanner here in a couple of weeks. We'll start making our bets and making our picks for the college pick'em. So can't wait for that. The conversation continues on Facebook, on Twitter. We'll see you guys there. Thank you for joining us. We'll see y'all next week.
Thanks for listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show.